Thanks for stopping back by. Welcome back to the Vintage Modernist. We're going to start with old stuff today because it's cool. This is my vintage 1870s United States Navy sword. It still has the original leather on the wrap and everything. It's a little bit ornate. Kind of, sort of. I know it's Navy because it says right here, USN. This actually was found in a bean field, my grandpa's bean field in Valley, Nebraska. There was also a pistol found in that same bean field. And I always wondered, and still do, is there some kind of battle out there? Is there some kind of massacre? I don't know. I do know a little bit about this sword though, because it went to the Antiques Roadshow that you see on PBS. I don't know if that's still on or not, but anyway. They actually came into Hot Springs, Arkansas, because I'd heard people talk, and some of the people that knew I had this, oh man, I saw one just like it. It's like 15 grand. So I was always curious about the monetary value and a little bit of the history. I was more curious about the history than the monetary value. And it's not, I think he said 100 or 150 bucks or something like that, but it said 1870 to 1900. They made them just like they're cranking out postage stamps or something. But it's neat. It was neat to finally find out a little bit of information on them. There's so many variations and all that. I'm not the guy to be grading stuff like that. But it's in pretty good shape. It's as dull as I am. I mean, you ain't going to cut butter with that, hot or cold. But it's still neat. I mean, it's got quite a bit of ornate work in it. So I think that's kind of cool. So it's summertime. Summer's upon us. And for younger people, that means summer work and maybe summer jobs. And I like work. I really do. I mean that seriously. I'm not being sarcastic for once in my life. Work is great. There's a sense of accomplishment. When you do something well and you do a good job at it, you can always stand back and look on it. It's a great sense of satisfaction to me to stand back and be like, man, I worked hard on that, and it's good. It's done well. It looks great, or whatever the case is. Even the things I hire out for other people, I look at those as work, and there's a sense of satisfaction that comes with that. Even some of the stuff that I don't really enjoy doing, I don't know. Maybe it's a little mind trick that you play on yourself. Where we come into the problem is with a job. Jobs are things that are like rip your soul from you, where you go to the cubicle every day, or you stand on the assembly line and you can do it in your sleep. That's a job. And that's a whole different thing than work. To me, work is enjoyable and a sense of satisfaction. Like I said, if you're making the same part on the same machine all day long, in America today, it's almost like work is looked down upon, frowned upon. Oh, dude, I'll just hire that done. I'm not doing that. Look at how unhappy people are. And I'm not saying that's the be-all, end-all of everything. I'm just saying, where's your sense of satisfaction come? It doesn't come from this, and it isn't going to. So young people, and my daughter brought this to mind with me, and I've heard this every year for probably the last 5 years or so. Summer comes, school's out. Oh, I'm going to make some money. I can't wait till this summer. I'm going to make some money. It always reminds me of when I was young. I'm going to make some money. And I did. I tried I was always eager for making money. The first work that I can remember getting paid for, I think, was for my dad. Mind you, my dad was the cheapest man that ever lived. So he was a painter, basically. He was a carpenter, painter, hung wallpaper, back when people hung wallpaper. So he set me to scrape and paint. Paint's peeling off of something. You gotta scrape it off, and he shows me how to do it. You understand? Yeah, got it. So all day, and my dad didn't take break. He took a lunch break. He ate his egg sandwich, drank his coffee, and was back to work. He didn't take breaks like, you'd sit down for 10 minutes or something to grab a soda. He wasn't making money drinking soda. So all day I scraped this paint. And I was a kid, you know. I mean, let's call it spade spade. You're not getting a man's labor from a child, you know. At least he wasn't. So all day I scraped this paint. At the end of the day, you know, clean up tools so we get everything packed up. And he gets out his wallet and he opens it and some moths fly out. And he gives me a $5 bill. And there's nothing else in this wallet. Because, I found out later, in like 1956 or something, someone siphoned gas out of his gas tank in his vehicle. Never going to pull that again. So his theory was, if I only put $5 of gas in the vehicle, perpetually, if they get me, they're only getting me for 5. Whatever. Okay. So anyway, so, you know, it gives me the 5 and there's nothing left. So we get in the car and we're going home, and we're a mile or two down the road, and he says, "Hey, you got any money?" "Well, I have that $5 you gave me." "Give it here." "What do you mean? You want to get home or don't you? We're about out of gas." So I gave the $5 back. He stops, puts $5 worth of fuel in the vehicle, and we go home. And it pretty well worked that way all summer. I don't think I made a dime. I say all summer. I mean, it was probably like, I don't know, a couple of weeks or something like that. That was my first, you know, my dad would turn work into a job. I'd shovel snow, rake leaves, bleach decks, you know, all the stuff that nobody wanted to do as a kid, do it for dirt cheap. I hated a lot of that stuff. But that is so good for you as a young person, as you age. I mean, it teaches you endurance. It teaches you stick-to-itiveness, if that's a word. It teaches you to, you know, to get up and get out of bed, and when you don't feel like getting up and getting out, there's a whole multitude of life lessons that come from work. Don't turn it into a job. You know, you got to look at his work, and even to this day, you know, I take on some things that I probably shouldn't sometimes, and just for the challenge of it, because you got to figure it out. And it's going to be difficult, and you know, I might get an hour or two into it and be like, "Man, this sucks." But it's a different way of thinking now. You know, it's a challenge now. I got to figure this out, and I want to get this done and get out of here. And that perseverance, you know, figure it out, do it, and do the best job you can at it, even if you don't like doing it. That's just the way some things work, you know. I remember we went, and me and a friend of mine picked blueberries, and I didn't know nothing about picking blueberries, but they had a blueberry farm, so we go pick blueberries, you know. And there's a good first hour at the daybreak, throwing blueberries at each other and laughing and carrying on, you know. All right, we got to make some money here. Picking blueberries, and it's hot, and you're scorching in the summer sun, but it's easy. It's not like you're picking strawberries or something. So at this particular place, they did it by the gallon, and you'd fill up a gallon bucket, and a lot of these, you know, there were grown adults, like migrant farmers and probably undocumented workers, but they just set a full bucket down and get another one, you know, and they take them up like 6 at a time. Well, we were kids, teenagers, and so we'd haul them up to the booth, and they asked you, you know, do you want to be paid now, or you want us to start a tally sheet for you, get paid at the end of the day or the end of the week, or however you want to do it. Right now. Okay, and they did it by weight, you know, it's like $1.25 or something for a gallon of blueberries. All right, money in hand. And that kind of motivated you, you know, to go back and hit it again. Well, like a true teenage boy with no sense, didn't take a water jug or anything. I mean, this is like July in the Ozarks, man. The old summer sun's blistering down, just baking the back of your neck, you know. And I don't know how far into the day it was, not very long, I'm sure, a couple hours. And took my bucket up, I mean one at a time, just wasting time, you know, but took it up, you know, and boy, you look hot. I am hot, it's getting really hot out here. I mean, you're really red. You want a cold drink? So, yes, I do. Well, they turn around, there's a refrigerator there. And they open the door and it's just stocked with soda pop and candy bars, 50 cents a whack. Somehow I didn't see this. It didn't dawn on me. Well, yeah, I'll take a Dr. Pepper, because who doesn't want a pop in the blistering heat of summer? Get some sugar going. Wish I'd have never found that out, because then it turned into every bucket, you know. Yeah, I'll take a pop and a Snickers bar, actually. Yeah. Well, now you're down to a quarter for whatever work you just put into the. So at the end of the day, you know, you just have pockets bulging of change, not a dollar bill to be found, you know. And worked and worked and worked, and you had to change. Things you learn, and I've always wanted to go back. And I want to take my daughter too. And let's just see. Let's see, as a grown man, can I crank out $150 in blueberries in a day? Oh, it'd be fun to try though, I think. But all the, you know, and then as I got older, it became construction stuff, and those guys would laugh, and they should, you know. But I bet you can't pick up that and pick that heavy generator up, get it back in the truck. Oh, I'll show you. You know, I was in a lot better shape then. I wasn't all Skeletor, anorexic. You know, you're just blowing your back out. I got it up there. Boy, you sure did. That was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome because they didn't have to do it. I mean, I'll tell you this. Here's a tip if you're going to hire a neighborhood kid to do anything. Don't be paying them in checks. That is so wrong. That couldn't be any more wrong. Kids want cash. Don't be writing checks. Don't be trying to shortchange the kid. And don't be thinking that you're going to get like a full day's labor for 20 bucks or something. I mean, you send a kid to dig a hole, that's hard work, man. And if it takes that kid an hour and a half to dig your hole, give them 40 bucks. I mean, the other side of that coin. When my daughter was young, little, I'm talking like 5, you know. So, daughter comes home from school. This is like pre-K, kindergarten, I don't remember. But she's telling me these other girls are getting this allowance. I said, really? Are they doing anything for this allowance? I don't think so. I think they're getting money. Well, I'm not one to pay for not getting anything. When I was a kid, I got an allowance. I was allowed to live under the roof. I was allowed to eat their food. I was allowed clothing that I wore. That was my allowance. There wasn't any cash changing hands, for sure. Anyway, so my daughter thought she ought to get an allowance. I was like, well, we can work something out here, you know. And I made her this list of menial chores, you know, feed the dog, pick up your toys, stuff like that. For whatever, $5 a week or something like that. I mean, it's like 4 things she had to do every day. So she did them for 3 or 4 days, maybe a week, I don't know. So I gave her $5. Second week, I tapered off, and here she was on Friday, payday. Where's my allowance? And where's my dog food? You don't do the work, you don't get the money. I've never paid an allowance since then. Not gonna happen. It sure made me think fondly of all the work that I'd done as a kid, you know, growing up. What that taught me, and you should. I think you should encourage your kids to do some summer work and get them some spending money and teach them some life lessons. That's it for today. We're already long. Thanks for watching. See you next time.